So here's the thing. You may have noticed it's been about a week since my last video, I think, and I've been meaning to update sooner. I just have not had a lot of luck with the pieces that I've done in the past week. I have been in a little bit of an art slump, not a big one. Like I say, it's only been about the past week, but it's sort of been this thing where everything I paint, I'm just not quite happy with it. There's something about it that is really disappointing to me and really bothers me, and it's not really something that I want to put out there. And I wanted to talk about that in a video because I think that it's the sort of thing that every artist experiences, and I have figured out how to work through that. But, I think that some people really struggle with it, and there have been periods in my life where that sort of feeling that everything I produce isn't good enough and isn't up to my standard of quality, that can cause you to just stop doing art. And that's a bad thing for an artist to go through, where your own inhibitions prevent you from creating and pushing past that, and it can lead to art block. So let's say you are in that position. Maybe you're learning something new. Maybe you're just learning to draw for the first time, or you're learning a new medium like I am with watercolor. Or, maybe you just feel kind of stale or uninspired and things just aren't living up to, what your expectations for them are. And first of all, focusing only on the flaws in your art is a really destructive attitude to have. It's good to acknowledge your weaknesses so that you know what to work on. I mean, you don't want to be the sort of artist who refuses to face your own weaknesses, because you're never going to improve that way. If you only ever play to your strengths and never practice the things that you're not very good at, you're never going to be good at those things. You're never going to learn and grow. So you should be aware of the things that you're struggling with so that you can work on improving them. But I ask you, if that is something that you tend to do, if you tend to be extremely self-critical, please try to find something positive to focus on instead. Because that is, I don't want to say the only way, but it's a good way to make sure that your spree of disappointment doesn't turn into a long period of art block. Just take a look at the work that you've been doing and try to ignore the flaws that you see temporarily and try to find things that you did well. What breakthroughs did you have with the piece? What did you do well before it went wrong? Or what good decisions did you make? Try to focus on using those as a foundation for future work. So maybe you made some of your values too dark, or maybe you drew something a little wrong, maybe your proportions were off. I mean, stow that away and pull it back out the next time you work so that you can try to improve upon it. But, maybe you really like the way that you mixed the color, or maybe you really like the composition. Maybe you managed to render something really well. Be aware that you're capable of doing that. Hang on to those capabilities and those strengths and focus on utilizing those to their fullest potential in your future work. Don't focus on your past work. It's really easy to get hung up on the work that you've done before, the piece that you finished last night or last week or last month, or portfolio pieces that you finished years ago that you've clung to for all of this time. And I think as artists, what we should be doing is looking forward to the future, looking forward to the growth that's ahead of us and how we can improve ourselves and where we're going to take our art. The only way to move forward is to keep taking steps. And so if you just keep looking back at where you've been, you're not focused on where you're going. So that's my advice for getting through an art slump, is just, I can't guarantee that the pieces that you do for the next week or month or year aren't going to disappoint you, but I think if you try to find things that you like about those pieces and try to revisit those strengths, maybe not replicate them, because you don't want to be like a broken record just producing the same thing over and over, but utilizing them to their fullest potential. As I said, I think it's a good way to keep yourself going. Attitude is everything, especially in a field like art that is so personal and so subjective. You have to maintain a certain positivity and motivation and drive to keep going, and it's a long road. It takes a lot of work to become an artist. So much work over years and years and years, and that's daunting if you don't find some way to take a little joy in the journey. Wow, that sounds an awful lot like another artist with the last name Ross. I'm gonna leave you with that. I really hope that helps you guys. If you have any feedback regarding this, or if you have a particular strategy that you feel really helps you get through art block, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. And hopefully I'll be seeing you again soon.